meeting to order. It's 7:06. My name is Melissa Wallace. I am the secretary for the Carnegie PTO, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for spending your evening with us. And thank you to all of the faculty members who are here as well for giving up your time. And Principal Moss. We'd like Principal Moss to come up and introduce everybody before we really get into the PTO portion, but we'll start first with our faculty panel. And Mr. Moss is going to introduce everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I'll just briefly introduce members of our faculty, and they're going to give you a little bit of information about the courses that they teach, expectations, so on and so forth. And you will also have an opportunity for question and answer. So the faculty actually is top on the state of our agenda. And so we want you to direct give your questions to our personnel who are here tonight. We have Ms. Brody representing our math department. Ms. Scott representing physical education. Ms. Schultz in our science department. Also Mr. Arnando, our science department. We have Nurse Dana here representing our clinic. Both members of our fine arts department, Mr. Stuart Savage, our editor. Mr. Cvhs or visual arts. And also Coach Lane representing physical education and various sports. So now we're going to go pass it on to our faculty and whoever would like to begin.
We're going to I'll give you an introduction about what to talk about. I teach Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. Algebra 1, I have a very small amount of classes, like less than 50 students, and then Algebra 2, there's probably 20% freshmen in there, and the rest of them are sophomores and juniors. The geometry teacher is not here tonight, but I kind of have an idea of how our class runs and how she works it. If anyone has any geometry specific questions or algebra specific questions. In Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and geometry, I feel like it runs like just a normal class. Like it's like a warm up. There's class participation with problems that we work together, problems that the teacher works, problems that are independent, and there's just like an expectation at the end. It's pretty normal classroom. It's not a whole lot of like free time or empty time. Everything is kind of scheduled in class. Does anyone have any maths questions? Not questions, not equations. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So, for that course, I know it's an accelerated course, but does the student actually take, learn all the topics of the two classes?
Do you have a student in pre-cal now, or are you referring to next students?
BC.
Okay, the pre-cal. Let's see. Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
She was asking about pre-cal BC because at this school, after Algebra 2, they have an option of which pre-cal class they can take.
AP pre-calculus, which then would lead to calculus AB, and then calculus BC, which is an extremely rigorous course, but it leads directly into calculus BC. The difference between Calc AB and Calc BC just being one is 1 college credit after the AP test, and the other is 2 college credits after the AP test. But from what I've heard from the students, I don't teach pre-cal BC, but from what I've heard, it's it's a very hard class. It is probably the hardest math class on campus, harder than any of the calculus classes, because it is such a fast-paced class. They cover all of the Algebra 2 review in 2 weeks. So basically they review the entire Algebra 2 year of curriculum in 2 weeks. And then the rest of the time, they do all of pre-cal and all of the Calc 1, basically Calc AB. It's not a class that a lot of kids take. It's about 30 kids in the entire school are up for the challenge. Any other math questions? Yes, sir.
Hold the thought. Hold the thought.
Oh, coming for a mic.
That way we don't have to repeat it.
So it's, I do have a math equation for you. No, actually, our son is in geometry, and so it appears, and actually none of his teachers are here today, but it appears the way it works is they have notes, they have a packet. Are the geometry classes pretty much run the same way?
Yes, pretty much.
So it looks like they're given a packet. They do the preliminary note-taking at home with like a YouTube video. The next day they do application or practice in class, and then they take it home, and then they do like on their own stuff.
Yes, she runs kind of a flipped classroom model. So instead of doing the full instruction during class time, they're basically teaching themselves kind of an intro to the lesson at home. And then whenever they get in class, it basically gives them time to get more practice in class. There's none of that like, oh, let me show you the basics of it. It's just, we're getting right on into it because you learned the basics at home already.
So then they do that, and then they move to the next, and then move to the next. They got to run through it. I guess my question is, obviously they're getting introduced to these concepts, theorems, those postulates, going to eventually do proofs, that kind of stuff. Some of these concepts they're not intuitive necessarily. And where would he go to get help? Because
Right, I would start with the teacher. We have an 80-minute lunch at our school, and it's not because they eat for 80 minutes. Half of that time, I would want them to be in some sort of tutoring. I have kids in my classroom all of the entire lunch, so I would recommend starting with a teacher. After that, we do have Math Honor Society tutorials, which is like the upper level math kids. They work 1 day a week during lunch. I believe it's Wednesdays, and they work with the kids in the lower math classes. I always say peer tutoring is really good because often the kids that have taken the class before are the ones that really know the subject and they know the tricks behind everything that a teacher's not necessarily going to show you. Like, I'm not going to show my kids how to do it the easy way on the calculator. I wanted them to know the math behind it, but sometimes a peer tutor will show them stuff like that. And then outside of that, last year we even got a few kids set up with like a virtual tutor to work with during the school day, at home. So if it comes down to that, you can always email the teacher and ask for that information, and we can get that sent to you. But that was usually for some real extreme cases.
So if they wanted the peer tutoring, who do they contact?
They really just need to come to my room on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is when the Mu Alpha Theta, which is the Math Honor Society, tutors.
Thank you.
Yes, it actually is linked if they go to Canvas, and I always link it at the top of my Canvas. It's just a hyperlink that says Algebra 2 Online Textbook. I will say that we do a lot of stuff outside of the textbook because it is very just an on-level Algebra 2 textbook made for students in regular math in Texas. And yet in Algebra 2 for us, not only do we do higher level because we're because we're pre-AP, but then we also dip into the pre-cal curriculum as well. So there is one. It should be linked on the teacher's Canvas. If not, email the teacher and they can send you a link. And it's nice and easy. You can scroll through it. It has, I always tell the kids the best part about it is the odd answers are on there, like an old school textbook. Like it shows them how to work the odd questions. That's my favorite part. More math questions? Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, here's some information about athletics and PE.
Sorry, Miss Brody. Mr. Moss said it was our turn. Good job. Coach Scott.
Coach Lemaine, I get to skip.
Yeah. So we're the PE department. We're working hard in class right now. Do you guys have any questions about homework or things that they've been saying when they get home? Because we don't have any homework. We do all of our work in class.
I just want to remind parents who probably the first time they hear this, so your students are getting 2 credits, the PE and health. Health, hopefully it starts next week. So in case you're asking where's that credit, it's going to start hopefully next week. We just had a meeting today.
Any PE? Yes.
Yes, we do, but we have to adjust this because we're using a different platform this year. We're learning it.
Sorry.
So the question was about, is there a syllabus? I can give you a general description, but I have to go back to my syllabus and change that because we were thinking we're going to have the same platform, but this is different.
Yes, our syllabus is posted on Canvas for the PE portion. As he said, we were using Apex in years past for their virtual learning for health. But Edgenuity is a new program that we're all learning, including the people in the district. So we're all learning together. And as soon as we get trained on that, the students will start their health credit.
I don't know if I'm addressing it. So I know there's a track team. Are you in charge
Yes,
of it?
there is a track team, but the season is in spring.
Yeah, so my son he's a sophomore. He's just joined the school. So I'm wondering, is it too late? What's the process?
He's right on time. If you send him to me, I'll get him linked with the right coach, which might be me. We're trying to see who our boys track coach will be. Send him to me during lunch and we'll get him squared away with paperwork and all of the things, the physical and all the things.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Any other question? Thank you.
So,
Yeah, one more.
I think the lady did ask the question, but just to clarify, so my son, or our son, is a freshman, not a sophomore. I'm assuming you make an announcement when things come up, right? So we don't need to approach you. You let us know that, hey, you need to sign up, you need to provide this documentation.
Yeah, for all the sports, excluding volleyball, cross country, everything you're going to hear about it from the website, in school announcements, and also students, they use their own groups, chats, /Instagram, and so on, to publish whatever we have. Plus, we're going to have a club fair soon, so they're going to know more about the clubs they're interested in.
And just to follow up on the cross country, so he ran track and cross country at Lanier. So for that, he should approach you.
It's too late for cross country unless next year, but track, he can come to me and I'll direct him to the right person, or Coach Scott.
Thank you.
Hi. When do we learn about the clubs, how they can sign up for the clubs?
So there's going to be a club fair, I think on the 10th. So we finally, it was going to be today, but it didn't happen. It's going to happen on the 10th. Cross country is an early sport. Volleyball, girls volleyball, same thing. So you'll hear about it towards the end of the year, so we can prepare for the following year.
Just follow up on sports. Once we put all the documentation in, so I think we did it over the summer, it's done for the whole year, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So in
If
spring-
if her physical is cleared in volleyball, then they're ready to go for soccer. It's
Okay.
much easier. So the earlier you can get it done for any sport, even in
Yeah.
the spring, if you want to start on it now, the sooner the better. If you have any questions about athletic paperwork, just email me, Yuki Scott. I got you.
The only thing is the physical has to have a date, May 15 or later. That's the
Yes.
only thing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You can tell them.
It's not my show.
Hello, good evening. My name is Hillary Schultz, and me and
I'm Tony Arredondo. I've been here longest, so.
he's a support system. We are
Yeah,
here to
support,
represent
yeah.
science, specifically for biology. I teach AP environmental science, and then pre-AP biology. So I have some representation over here. Good job.
I'm good.
Okay,
Good.
all right. So, as far as biology goes, it's a super core subject. Definitely everybody's taking it as a freshman. It's the most important class here at Carnegie Vanguard High School. Don't know if you know that, but I just want to let you know that, because science is everything, right? Okay. Just to kind of give you a heads up, the three teachers, the three of us that teach biology, we are completely streamlined. We are doing identical things every single day. Our grade books are mirrored. We make sure that across the board, from top to bottom, we are aligned. We meet daily to ensure that we have that alignment. And so your child can ask any of us any question and we'll know exactly what's happening even on that specific day. The only time there may be a delay is like Mr. Mata will have some kids on a Wednesday block day, and then I'll have them on a Thursday block day or vice versa. And so sometimes that will be the only kind of delay, but we're very in contact and streamlined. So please let your scientists know that if they have any questions, concerns, or need a little extra help, they can ask any of us at any time. I would say advice-wise for freshmen to be super successful in this very important class, notebooks, notebooks, notebooks. Okay, I say notebooks, you say notebooks. Ready? Notebooks? Notebooks? There you go. And then you stay ahead of the game, right? You stay on top of it. As long as you're on top of it, it's fully aligned, and there's no reason why your child can't be fully successful. So I'm very excited to be here at Carnegie. It's my first year here. It's my 21st year in education, and I'm an amazing student representing. Anything else?
Oh, no.
I say rhinos, you say roar. Rhinos.
That's not me.
Rhinos.
Yeah, Ms. Williams.
There it is. Okay. Any questions for science? You've got two friends. Yes, sir.
We really like the way you guys are teaching biology with the cardinal notes and note taking.
Me too.
And also, recently we also some activities in the lab, especially osmosis and transportation. I think, right? Cell transportation.
Oh, cell transport?
AP bio, right?
That's AP.
Yes, AP bio, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Cell transport?
Yeah.
Yes.
We discuss it on a light level when we're talking about permeability and stuff like that, but yeah.
The question I have is, on the similar way of taking cardinal notes, is there any tutorial for the kids to how best they can take cardinal notes? And if they're using any AI applications to either master the content or to create notes, do you guys have any advice on how effectively use AI tools?
Yes. So again, notebooks. I say notebooks, you say, okay, and then we're specifically doing, thank you, that was nice, that was good. Specifically, we do the Cornell note style. We do that very stringently and specifically so that every child's notebook looks the same except for their handwriting. We ensure that they're writing with their physical hand. The whole idea is literally the way that you can look at it. You can fold the paper and quiz yourself. You can pull your summaries up. You've got page numbers so you can access quickly. So that is, and then you're reviewing nightly. So that's the best. It's really literally based on notebooks.
We haven't really looked at utilizing too many AI tools as far as helping them with Cornell notes. Right now, we'd probably suggest going to peers that have already done it in years past. especially with biology. Cornell has been a part of biology for at least the past 5-6 years. So that's probably the best thing we can offer right now until we can get more familiar with how AI can help with the Cornell Notes creation.
I apologize. I thought you were saying AP. That was my bad.
And I teach chemistry and AP chemistry, by the way. That's my job. And I also coach soccer. I wanted to, Coach Scott, I wanted her to mention physicals on campus in May. So if you get the physical in May at the end of the year, it's good for all the next year. So, uh-oh.
Sorry, why is it so quick questions. What's the difference between pre-AB and AP Chem?
So pre-AP Chem is offered to primarily sophomores. It's the actual introduction into chemistry. And when we get to AP Chemistry, you're going to apply all the chemistry you learned in pre-AP with more labs and more intense pace. It's very rigorous right now as far as the level of content AP Chem versus pre-AP Chem. Pre-AP Chem is strictly foundational. Like right now, I'll give you an example. For pre-AP Chem is going through phases of matter: solid, liquid, gas. AP Chem is already to moles, and they're done with moles now. Going into Vesper next.
So they started doing problems.
They start in pre-AP. They learn all the foundation is there, and then they take that foundation and they apply it in AP.
So there's lab.
There's labs in both. Yes. Yeah.
Across science, we're all labbing. We jump right in.
You have to do labs, right? Inquiry. I beg them for questions. Like, I want them to be inquiry about it, right? Be inquiry based with me, because we know that chemistry is very abstract, and if they're not asking questions, you're gonna fall behind. Especially this campus where the pace is phenomenal. Take it right here. Question.
Okay, so my question is for the notes. Are they understanding and writing in their own words, or like what is your expectation? Do you want them to understand and write in their own words, or copy from the slides or the note or the textbook?
We would like some of the academic language maybe in there as well, but we know that they're going to learn based on how they speak, right? So yes, include the academic language, but also include in their own words. Sorry.
Don't bother. Okay, I'm Nurse Dana Bethencourt. I've been a nurse for 26 years, and I've been at Carnegie for a year, and a school nurse at Wharton before that. Go Wharton. Yep. I just wanted to let you guys know that I do post on Parent Square updates. I put a bunch of orders and immunization things that I need from you guys. So look on Parent Square, and you should be getting updates from me. The other thing is Hazel Health, and the main thing about that is the object is to keep your kids in school without you having to pick them up for minor things like headaches or menstrual cramps or just not feeling really good without a fever. So if you opt into that, they see a doctor right there in the telehealth in my office, and then the doctor says, okay, give them 2 Tylenol, and then I can give them 2 Tylenol. Otherwise, I cannot give medication without a physician order. So that is a handy little thing that HIC pays for. It's completely free. So either opt in or opt out. It's nice to have everybody 100% on that. So Mr. Seha is trying to put up my cute little slide, but it's not working. So you can Google on the main search page, Houston IC space Hazel Health, and it will come up and it says enroll now, enroll in 5 minutes. You click on that, and then once they're enrolled, you don't have to touch it again for the whole time they're at HISD. So one time's the charm. Any questions about anything in the clinic?
So the medication distribution, sorry. Has HISD updated their forms for the medication? Like the doctor has to send the form, like EpiPen, for instance?
Yes. So it's not up to, you have to every year get a doctor's order for a medication that you want your child to take in school, even emergency medication. So EpiPen, or even if they have migraines, they need to have their medication as needed. I have to have an order. Even if it's Tylenol, yeah, even over the counter, I'll have to have an order from a doctor. And the forms are on the parent square. Yeah, they've been the same for a long time. They haven't changed. Anything else? Oh, yeah. So that's Hazel Health, how you could sign up, QR code, and then my updates on Parent Square if you haven't signed up. So those are just some cute little things. And I'm just dana.bethencourt@houstonisd.org, so email me if you have any questions. And Ms. Brody wants to remind everyone to remind their children to use deodorant and antiperspirant. It gets bad. Freshmen for sure. I don't know why. Yes, shower daily and hand them that little deodorant, please. Anyway, all right. Thank you very much.
Hey everybody, I'm Stuart Savage. I teach theater.
Mr. Pettis, art teacher. So this is my second year at Carnegie. I teach Art 1 through Art 4. Most of the ninth graders are in Art 1 class. There's a few of them in Art 2, but they have an opportunity to take art all 4 years if they choose to. The last two years they're able to take AP drawing or AP 2D design or photography. I forgot we have photography as well. So if they have interest in getting college credit for art classes, they're welcome to do that. As far as my classes, all they need is some color pencils, some pencils, some pens at home. I have all supplies for them in my class. All assignments are on Canvas. They're always open. They have 3 opportunities to turn in all assignments. So if they don't like the first grade, they could turn it in again. If they don't like the second grade, they turn it in one more time if they want to. And I kind of consider myself the pressure valve of the school because they have so much work that they got to do. So when I get them in my class, I try to, chill them out a little bit, let them relax, lower the blood pressure. So that's what I'm here to do. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. They have work every day, so there's always something to do in my art class and in theater. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a message.
Yeah. Yes. My room is an icebox.
Yes.
I've been at Carnegie for 16 years. I teach theater 1 through 4. I have a tech 1 through 4. I also have a theater 3-4 honors class. So yes, I do have a 5-point class that students can also take. I also have a productions 1 through 4. So we work on productions. We do about 3 shows a year. That includes UIL. Our UIL program has been incredibly successful. We've been to state 6 times. We've won state twice. So we are a fairly popular program in the state of Texas. So I encourage your young scholars to be a part of it. That's about all I got for you. Yeah.
Hang on. So if theater is not part of the curriculum, how the kid can get involved? Because I heard wonderful things.
Oh,
I've heard amazing things about your theater program.
Thank you. Yeah, the question was about just being involved if you're not in the class for theater. Yes, it's school-wide. Anybody can join. We have, hopefully auditions will be next week. We haven't announced a show yet. We're still waiting either on publishers and the business of theater. So there will be auditions announced, and that's next week. Just people show up. There's a sign-up sheet already available for tech. So you really just sign up and show up to auditions and come to rehearsals. Yep. It's pretty careless and free. There's announcements. There will be scrolling billboard, the TVs. That's what I call that thing. Yeah. Yes.
What's the thank you. What's the time commitment for theater? Let's say, so especially if the kids want to do other activities, sports or debate, and so if they are taking theater, my son is taking theater right now, So can you give options that, okay, if you want to do a light, this is this version, or if you want to do more, these are the opportunities. Can you explain a little bit? Thanks.
My very short answer is I think you get out of it what you put in it. So if you show up to every rehearsal, you will get better and better and better. But I will tell you, we'll work with any schedule you can give us. That's my very short answer. We are here every day after school until 6:30 though. That's my other answer. Yeah.
What is the difference between theater and tech theater?
Technical theater will work mostly on things that are backstage and the technical aspects. So it's everything that is just physically not the acting or performance side.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any art questions for the Mr. Perez? Anything? No? Awesome. We're both available by email if you ever need us.
All right, bonsoir everyone. You can guess what I teach at school here. I'm Monsieur Christian Ditumbule. I'm teaching French 1, 2, 3, as well as AP, which is level 4. My colleague is not here tonight, but Mr. Tristan teaches Spanish 1, 2, 3, AP is 4, and Spanish literature is the ultimate level that we have. I don't really have much I can say. If anything, in my class, things are very, very interactive. From day one, they are not, they learn how to, and at level 1, they learn how to ask all the basic things in French, and nothing can happen unless they use French, from going to the bathroom, drink, pen, pencil, and everything else. So it's very, very interactive. And as we go to level 2, 3, and 4, and they have more written assignments, they always collaborate. They rarely work by themselves, mostly on summative assessment. But every other work, they always collaborate, and the idea is the collaboration is the time for them to practice. So level 4, 2, 3, and 4, they've learned the vocabulary to use when they're trying to collaborate. I think, je pense que, and so on. So I always try to maximize, because I know that for many of them, as soon as they leave my room, they won't necessarily be able to practice French. So, and homework, coming from a school that didn't necessarily offer homeworks, I'm still making adjustments, but I think I'll be using homeworks mostly as a tool to have them practice what they learn in class at home. So if I have some French student parents here, encourage them to practice. Even if you don't know what they say, just clap, say, oh, yes, you're awesome, you're great. It means something. Any question for me or for the language department?
Hi, my child's in Mr. Pena's class, and it's not been going well. I have not been able to get any direct answers. There's no textbook. They're getting their Spanish 1, they're getting all Spanish instructions. They're being held accountable for knowledge in the textbook that they don't have access to. I've been trying since the first week of school to get answers. Can I please get an update?
I can't give you an update right now, but if you don't mind talking to Mr. Garner, or I have Mr. Moss.
I've been talking to them for 3 weeks, and I don't have any satisfactory answers.
Yes,
I keep getting, we can't talk to you. I just want to know when my son's going to get the instruction he deserves.
Well, we'll take care of it, I promise you.
I don't trust that, because nothing's changed in almost 3.5 weeks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand your concern, but we will, I have Mr. Moss, want to say something? Okay, yeah, but we can talk just with you
I think there's several parents who want to hear this. Is that right? Are there other parents here who...
Mr. Pena?
Let's talk about them.
Well, we'll in due time. I promise you, we'll.
Okay, I don't care about the
address that issue.
teacher. I care about my kid's education.
Yeah, I know, and that's how.
And I don't know why y'all can't talk about that.
Yeah, we here for the kids. So.
How long are they going to have a sub? I understand she's a very qualified substitute, but I want to know how long will there only be a sub? My son currently has a very low grade in Spanish 2. I'm a native speaker, and he's emailed the teacher, Mr. Peña, several times asking for feedback on the assignment that gave him that, gave rise to the low grade, and he's gotten no reply. So I just feel like he doesn't have any timely feedback. He doesn't have any feedback from the person grading him and the person in the classroom.
I understand, and so I will address that, but I do want to offer the opportunity for the other teachers who are here in order to present. So I don't have a lot of information to share, but I will once everyone has an opportunity.
I just thought because this is the language portion of it.
Understood.
Any other parents? No? Thank you.
Dr. Haney, did you want to come? I can go after. I'll let all the teachers.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming out so late. I know this is a long day for all of you, and we appreciate the dedication that you all show by being here. So I'm Charlotte Haney. I teach AP Human Geography here with Mrs. Busso. So we'll be teaching your freshmen. For most of you, this will be your child's first AP class, though some of you have done it other ways, have taken AP classes at the middle school level. But for most of you, it's the first time. Now, at Carnegie, we have had a lot of success with human geography at the freshman level. So your students, typically, if you trust us a little, and I know that that can be hard, but if you trust us a little, we will get them through the year, and our kids who do the work in our class tend to do very, very well on their first AP exam. Beginning 4 years ago, I was invited, am I too close? Okay. I was invited by College Board to start creating, with a team, a new curriculum for AP Human Geography. So in my class, we do something called project-based learning. I also teach teachers across the country how to do this. And what we do, so it sounds really cutesy and sparkly. It's not cutesy and sparkly. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to take a very rigorous course and have your student learn all of it by doing projects that are really robust and rigorous. So over the course of the year, we have 7 units, and we will be teaching your kids through 6 projects. They're doing the first one, which is kind of a little baby project we do at the beginning, teaches some skills and gets them on board, and that is putting Houston on the map. But in 2 weeks, we'll begin doing one of my favorites, which is the baby box, and it is all about how to help different countries develop in the way that they want to. So they're learning all the demography and all those statistics that we typically learn, but they're learning them in a very purposeful way. Okay, so I'm sure you have some questions for me, and I know it's been a late night, so if you want to ask some questions, I'll try to give you my best answer.
Yeah, my daughter do the flashcards, and takes a lot of time. And can you give us a guidance? What's the value of that? What's the view of the to help them?
Absolutely, yeah. So your students are probably driving you a little crazy right now with the flashcards, right? Yeah, this is a rite of passage, my PTO, yes, all right. So I use something called the Freyer model. And so people who study language acquisition will tell you that in order for a student to master a word, they need to use it productively 7 times. So in my flashcard design, they're going to actually use those flashcards, they're going to use that word productively 4 times. Then over the course of the projects, they will inevitably use it 3 more times, and by the end of that, they own that word. Human geography is a vocabulary class. That and AP psychology are 2 classes that if you don't know the vocabulary, you cannot begin to be successful in those classes. So I understand that it is quite a lot of work, but we do try to do it as thoughtfully as we can, and it is the reason our kids are so successful. So your students all have a calendar. I put those on Canvas and they get a physical copy of those. So at the beginning of every project, they have all of the reading and all of the vocabulary that they will be required to do for the entire projects. Our projects typically last between 4 and 6 weeks, so they have a lot of advance notice. So I don't want to undermine the suffering that you as parents, I'm a parent too who has had kids go through this school, so I really sympathize with the pain. But one thing to help your students is to help them chunk that reading and those flashcards. So you're going to get the 9th grade email. That 9th grade email gives you all the big assignments that the kids are having. You have my calendar, so you know exactly how many pages of reading and how many flashcards they have to do. One of the very best things that you can do is sit with your kids at some point during the weekend, especially if your student is struggling with getting organized, and sit down with them, take the 9th grade email. Ms. Brody has fantastic resources. She helps the kids a lot with agendas, as do a lot of the teachers. But sit down with them with that 9th grade email and help them chunk out the week. So how many flashcards do you have this week? You have 40 this week? Well, you have 6 days left. Let's divide, right? So you got to do 7 a day. So chunking is really, really important, and they're 15, 14, some of them are 13. They need your help to do that. So helping them chunk the work is a really big thing. The second big thing that I would say, and this is as a parent speaking to you as other parents, is that kids will often talk about how many hours they're spending on homework, right? It's 2 in the morning and I'm still making flashcards, right? I mean, I'm not trying to trivialize it, but what I would say to them is, where's their phone, right? So are they doing flashcards? Are they doing their algebra? Are they doing their language homework? Or are they constantly checking and distracted by their phone? So every time it buzzes, they have to look at it, and then when they go back to their homework, they have to figure out where they were. So it's like they have to keep restarting that process. So the more you can help them with that, I think that metacognitive skill can be really useful. For a lot of our little babies, our 13, 14, and 15-year-olds, they need to do their homework in a public space, and that can be super helpful. So if you can help them navigate the phone, I think you will find that the number of hours that they're spending actually gets much shorter. So those are some thoughts. Okay. Other parents?
This is also regarding the flashcards. So you said about 30 to 40. So what is the weekly expected flashcards preparation? And also, is the students can use electronic flashcards, as you said, Fryer model or any other active recall techniques or spaced repetition. There are very sophisticated apps or online tools which basically help students to master this content through the either active recall or by spaced repetition. So having these algorithms in place, students can easily come in after a day after or 2 days, depending on their recalls.
Can you put the microphone a little higher so I can hear?
Sure. So based on their learning speed, they can actually use these electronic tools to actually enhance their learning. So writing is good, handwriting is definitely, makes them stick some concepts, but other side.
There are lots of tools out there, I understand. there's also lots of ways around actually learning with those tools. So forgive me for being a bit of a Luddite, but I have good reason for it. Now, for anybody who's got students with learning differences, both Ms. Busso and I are very happy to talk with your student about ways to accommodate the flashcards. So I'm not talking to the general, I'm not talking to my 504 students about this, right? So if you're in a situation like that, there are other ways. But for the general body of students, it is incredibly easy to copy and paste onto one of those online tools and never to have actually interacted with the information. My flashcards are divided into 4 quadrants, you'll notice. So there is defining the word, there's elaborating on your definition, which means doing it in your own words, and there is a special section that's really important, which is exemplifying the word. And in that, I'm very picky about how they format that example, because they're doing it in the exact same way that they will need to do it on the FRQ exam. So the AP exam is divided into a multiple choice and a free response essay. The free response, the challenge is that they have to be so fast. They need to be incredibly fast. And being able, so we have different verbs, and one of the verbs is define. So having control of those definitions helps them pick up some of those points. And then being able to give good examples and having them right on the top of their mind helps them answer those questions quickly. And that's really why they've been successful. I'm a Luddite, I'm gonna die on this hill, all right? But we have enormous success. So I'm gonna toot my horn a little, but last year 88% of my kids passed the AP human exam. And that's, yeah. And that was your kids. I mean, your kids do a wonderful job, but I promise I'm not just torturing your children for nothing, okay? I'm sorry, okay. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'll try to be faster. I'm sorry, everybody wants to go home. I'll try to be faster.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully this is a quick one. So for the first quiz, my student didn't necessarily do as well as she wanted to. My understanding is that she hasn't got the feedback that she wanted to have in terms of where's the gap and how she can prepare for the next time better. And having kind of seen her put in the work and long hours, we also wanted her to make sure that she learned something from every quiz, right? So maybe it's the communication on our end, but I just want to clarify with you, like, how do you guys give feedback to the students? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Okay. One thing I would say is that I don't know. I mean, I will talk to any student who approaches me about a low quiz. So during advocacy, there's time for that. I also have tutorials for that. So encouraging all of your students to reach out to all of us, right? So if they're not talking to us, then we may not intervene with them individually. Now, for my quizzes, so 60% of the grade is in the summative category, and that will be their quizzes, their projects, and their exams. The quizzes tend to be low because the students are learning a very difficult skill, which is taking the multiple choice tests that College Board provides. This skill that they learn in my class serves them well in all of their social studies classes and many of their science classes and other classes as well. But it is a difficult one for them to develop. The quizzes stay what they are, so they tend to be low, but the students will be tested on the same material, and when they are tested on that material, they have the opportunity to do corrections, and those corrections are how they are working with me to understand what went wrong, right? And then by doing corrections, they get to earn points back on their tests. So their tests should be higher than their quizzes. In addition to that, I put the project grades in that summative category because as long as they're doing everything they're supposed to do for the projects, that should be a good grade, and that should pull that category up. Okay? Yes? Oh, what is even, oh man, and they want to go home. It is the best class that your kid will ever take. No, sorry. Human geography is fantastic. And I've been teaching freshmen now for 7 years. I'm teaching freshmen for 7 years. Many of these people make fun of me for this. And I do it because it's such a fantastic class. So imagine all of your social science classes, so your anthropology, your sociology, your psychology, your economics, your development classes. So imagine all of that, and then we put it on the world. So we understand where those things are happening and why where those things are happening matters. So this is the class that makes your kid fun to talk to. I hope that you will talk to them about this class. I hope that you will share your own stories. One of the wonderful things about our population here is we have people from all over the world and all kinds of walks of life. We all have migration stories. So the more you're talking to your kids about your ideas and how you think the world works, the more I can play with that in class. It is so much fun. Tell your kid to look out of the window and think about it and talk to you about it.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Did you? Yes, of course.
No questions. Hey, my name is Tiffany, Ms. Williams, and I am a student support specialist here at Carnegie. If your child is having trouble talking to their teachers, they can come to me. If they're having trouble talking to their friends or making friends, they can come and talk to me. I'm not a counselor, I'm not an admin, I'm just a nice person on campus to help you figure out how to microwave, help you figure out how to do your locker. So yes, I provide resources and also help with interventions, study interventions. So if your child clubs, tutorials, at 504. These are all the things I do. So that's me. I'm Tiffany Williams, and you can reach me at tiffany.williams4. That's it. Okay, thank you.
Let's get a round of applause for our teachers. Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I hope I know we kept you late, but I hope dinner was nice. And we appreciate it. If there are any more questions, feel free to email them. In my experience, they will get back to you. So go ahead and email them. Thank you very much, guys. I think you guys can head out if you want. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so this starts the PTO portion of the agenda. And give us just 1 second to get online. Yeah, no worries. Okay. Here. Do you want to go?
Yes, that's what we're doing now. Yeah. We're doing the minutes, right? Yes. I just brought them up.
All right, the first portion is, by the way, I'm Vaibhavi, I'm the parliamentarian. We're just going to vote on the meeting minutes from last PTO, which was in May. Yeah, May 22nd. All in favor of approving the minutes?
I second. I third.
Motion passes. Any noes, nays? Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We want, in the interest of time, we want to be sure that we kind of move this along. So just 1 second as I bring this back up, and we'll start right off with our president. Oh, it's working. Look at that. Thank you guys so much again for being here. Let me introduce Gari.
Thank you. My name is Gari Samlani, and I'm the PTO president. This is my second year serving as president. And everyone that you see up there is part of the board for this year. So 2024, 2025 board is up there. I was going to introduce them, but I want to kind of move a little bit fast so that I can get you guys out of here. Each one of those folks will be speaking after me, and they will get a chance to introduce themselves. But I do want to take a minute to kind of do some audience participation. Can I see some raised hands for all my freshman parents? Oh, let's get a round of applause for them, please. Okay, from the rest of the people, if you looked around you and someone's hand was not raised, that means that they have been here for more than 1 year. They will tell you this: you will survive. I promise you, you will survive. Your child will be fine. These first 6 months are tough. You can see that in the freshman chat. And maybe you may or may not believe me when I say that every question that someone had on AP Human Geo or AP Science or Spanish, I have seen every one of those questions before. So it is not new. You will survive it, and so will your kid. They come out of this rock stars. They are GT kids. They will make it out fine, okay? So with that, please grab some pizza as well while we have the event going on. One more thing before I get started, I want to say, there's a little giveaway for attending tonight. One lucky person is going to win this bag. But to win, I need a piece of paper with your name on it in this box. So if you haven't put that in, please go ahead, and it doesn't matter what kind of paper it is, as long as it has your name on it, put it in here. But the key thing is that you need to be a member of the PTO to win. Membership is free, and the way you become a member is by going to cvhspto.org. cvhspto.org. Sign up for a free membership. We ask only for your name, number, email, and maybe your firstborn, maybe not that either. But those two things can get you walking home with this gift. Also, if you are not here when the drawing happens, that's okay. We'll find you and send the gift home for you, okay? All right, with that, let's get started. Thank you. So a couple things. I want to do just a quick year in review. For the folks that lived through this with us last year, you will remember some of these things that I'm calling out, and there's some fun pictures next to it to remind us. The PTO is a nonprofit organization, which means everything we do, including the pizza that we served tonight, or the microphone that's up here that helps us kind of get the message out, or the events that we hold the rest of the year for our children, all of those things are paid for by fundraising. And so I'm very happy to announce that last year we met and exceeded our goal. And following me, there's going to be the VP of fundraising that's going to speak and appeal to your senses to donate more, because our goal is now higher than last year. In addition to that, so some of the fun things that we did last year was Senior Awards celebration. This is a very special event that we do for our seniors. It was a huge success. A lot of senior kids showed up. It's a really great memory that we leave behind. And some of the pictures that you see over there with them throwing up their hats and such. So those kids survived 4 years. Guess what, freshman parents, take a quick look. In 4 short years, that's gonna be your kiddos as well. There's some food drives that we've done for PTO parents. We do an outreach. Not everyone amongst us is lucky to have a good Thanksgiving or a Christmas, and we want to make sure that we can help bring some of those memories to the rest of our families as well. And so there is an outreach program. You'll hear more about it as the year goes on. We also had the highest volunteer engagement last year. So that's 125 people that volunteered last year. And looking at all the faces that showed up here, I bet we can do better this year, okay? That means I need a lot of you, if not all of you, to sign up to be part of the PTO and do a little bit to kind of help your kiddos' year be successful. Okay, appreciation committee. This is where we, all of the faculty that you saw here, plus several that couldn't attend tonight, we want to make sure we thank them. We want to make sure that we do things for them throughout the year to remind them of the fact that, hey, even the kiddos are, they're not always easy to deal with. That as parents, we appreciate all the time that they put into our children. And then one of the big things that happened over the summer, so that means that the PTO board that you saw up there actually does work over the summer, because we're doing things like wrapping up the year, and part of that is wrapping up the audit. So the 2024-2025 year, the audit is complete and the books are closed. So I wanted to thank the treasurer for that. Thank you, Mala, for putting in all that work. All right. So let's move on to the next piece, which is really kind of talking about special events that are coming up. We had a VP of special events was Irene Gonzalez, and the reason I say was is because Irene had signed up for this position last year, had a change of family situation over the summer, and has decided that she needs to step back, focus on her family, and she will come and help when she can, but she couldn't step into this position for this year. I am very saddened by it because she threw some really great parties for the kids. Really, really great. So if you're a sophomore or a junior or a senior parent and you remember some of the skating events, or you remember the Top Golf event, that was all Irene, and we're super grateful. But since we found out, and it's the beginning of the year, we have found another volunteer that has raised her hand and has been voted in to this position, and I want to call Than Durant. Please stand up. Than has been amazing for the last couple of years. She has served as the Spirit Committee Chair and will now be taking over. That's right, she was selling shirts. And she will now be taking over as the VP of Special Events. The dates that were put up, though, were not Than's, but Than will execute and throw a great party. Take a picture. Sometimes these dates do move depending on venue, depending on other situational things that might occur, but for the most part, we will try and keep in this space. If the date moves, there will be emails that go out. As we get closer to the date, you will also get emails to let you know that if your child wants to attend a certain event, they need to sign up or they need to buy a ticket.